In the middle of medieval Germany, spread across rustic green hills and massive farmlands, the peasants' brewing rate with the extortionate taxes, feudal dues, and serfdom imposed upon them by the nobility was high, as they began fight for their freedom and equity. Feedback. When the spark of revolution was lit, it spread, Sukdeo explained. The restive spirits were banded and brought to the city. The rising burned across the city, but when royal troops cracked down, piling dead bodies in a barracks and burning them, the revolt was felled. The 12 articles were fed to the fire, but that fire turns immediately upwards. It is the smoke that continues to seep through millennia. For the first time, German peasants demanded a fair share of the fabric of society. In that moment, everything else we know is born. Weishaupt is nothing more than a twinkle in a student's eye. Silesian weavers, Tamil women's collectives, all of the desires of modernity, all born of those demands. Johann, a persuasive peasant, led the rebellions, of course on horseback. But as for the weapons for the first rebellion, Johann and his followers only had the old pitchforks and sickles they had from their villages, a bit of guts, and the determination to actually do it. Little did the nobles and their well-trained knights and soldiers know, the revolutionaries would soon unite and score many victories. Their numbers swelled as more and more peasants joined the cause. The peasants were triumphant in a definitive conflict on the fields of Wittenberg. They pulverized the nobility's army and took the nobles' safe haven. With new dedication, they freed many towns across the nation. The news of the uprising spread all over Europe, causing a shockwave. Kings, queens, and other rulers of less importance alike were terrified that the same might occur to their serfs, and delighted at the same time were the common folk. The peasants were heroes in the eyes of the serfs, the people who could save them for the lives they loathed. Soon, leaders across Europe were captured by the aftermath of the peasants' great victory. This was not only happening in Germany. Nobles and merchants, nobles and peasants, merchants and peasants also rose in France, Britain, and northwestern Europe. Of course, necessary resources soon ran out. Throughout Europe, even with the most minor victories, the social structure of the Western European world was being put to the ultimate test. Whispers of revolution in the halls of the powerful grew steadily louder, and the nobles and monarchs of Europe raced to maintain their hold over their nation's future. Every tactic was employed to keep the riots down, but the deafening sound of change could not be silenced. Peasants became landowners, and serfs gained freedom. People now had rights, and the power of the nobles went down. But shadows always linger after triumph. Where there is power, there's responsibility, and the crowning of the Republic brought its own set of trials. The country was by no means unified, and factionalism would tear it apart from within. In the bloody aftermath of the revolution, there was enough dirt trickling down the gutter to dig up. The uprising itself was one of great complexity and sectional interest. The humble peasant revolt was and became a star-emitting hope and twinkling into the annals of the time as a great braveheart ready to champion the cause of a new and undying age, where justice allowed the oppressed a voice.